Hello everyone, welcome to my How to Spartan workshop today. First of all, congratulations on your admission to San Jose State. And if you're just here to learn more about our school before deciding whether you want to transfer here, please know that SJSU welcomes everyone. My name is Amy Pham. I'm a peer mentor at Peer Connections, an awesome resource for SJSU community, which I will tell you more about later. Let's get started. Today I'm gonna talk about first what you need to do after you have accepted admission. Secondly, how we do it at SJSU in regard of classes, career, and social life. And last but not least, the available resources and tips to help you succeed at SJSU. So you accepted admission, now what? Before the pandemic, the first thing that everyone kept telling you about was the writing skill test or WST. However, this upcoming fall semester, SJSU has an alternative process in replacement of WST called Directed Self-Placement or DSP. Please visit the website listed for more information on this online placement. Next is your immunization records. You'll be asked to submit proof of your vaccination. Please refer to the Student Health Center website for the required vaccines. Finally, you can sign up for your transfer orientation. This is a mandatory one-day virtual event. There are 8 days ranging from June to August that you should have signed up for one by now. First half of the day, you will get to learn about campus resources and services. In the second half, you will have a breakout section with your Department Success Center, where you will get help in building your first semester ed plan. I want to share that I attended the last orientation in August because of some complication with my admission, but that's another story. So I attended the latest orientation worrying that I wouldn't get into the classes that I needed, but I soon found out that they did save space in major classes for transfer students. So please don't worry about not getting to the classes that you need just because you attend a later orientation. To figure out your comprehensive ed plan, make sure to meet with an advisor in your department to see what and how many classes you need to graduate, because not only do you need your major classes, you need your SJSU study classes as well. My Progress is a tool to track your requirement for graduation. It can be used in complement with your ed plan and can be accessed via your Spartan app portal. My scheduler is something that I find incredibly useful to arrange my schedule. After talking to your advisor and knowing which classes to take, you can input those classes for each semester. It will then generate possible schedule options for you to choose from. Of course, you can narrow down your options by selecting certain time and date. You can then import your ideal schedule straight to your registration shopping cart. This makes my life so much easier since my day one at SJSU, since I don't have to worry about time conflicts between classes. How we Spartan do it at SJSU? Let's start with the academics, since everyone has been asking me what the classes are like, whether they are more difficult. The answer is yes and no. The experience that comes with a class is hard, but content-wise, I don't think they are any more difficult. Let me explain myself a little better in the next slide. The reason I said the experience around the classes is harder because unlike admission, where you will most likely get into the classes that you want, whether by signing up for it or being the first 5 on the waitlist, at SJSU, because of the impactedness, you can expect your major classes to be filled really fast, especially for business majors. That is why your registration time is important. Near the end of each semester, you'll be allowed a period of time to register for next semester. The period had a start date and a time. The start date and time depends on your current standing and or certain program that you're in. To ensure that you can be in the class section that you have picked out for yourself according to your desired schedule, log in and click enroll for those sections on your start date right at the time that you are able to do so. Because other registration groups can have the same start date but at different time. If you forgot to enroll at your start time, others in later groups might have filled the capacity of the section by the time that you log in. I remember my registration time for this semester And also for my second semester was at 6 or 7 a.m. and I had to set an alarm super early that day just to log in and enroll for my classes while I was still half asleep. With that being said, being on a waitlist does not guarantee you an ed code. So if the capacity of a class is filled, you can be on the waitlist. Usually, professors give out around 5 ed codes if the roster is full on the first day of class. However, they have a guideline as well as their own preferences when giving out the codes. The guideline says the priority goes to those who are graduating seniors, meaning those who are in their last semester and need the class to graduate. Professor own preferences mean they can give the ed codes to those who email them prior to that first day, or the first few on the waitlist, or just random lottery. I've been in some classes that even some graduating seniors didn't get an ed code, and there were a few classes that I witnessed my professor pulling names from a hat to decide who got to stay. So I don't think anyone ever want to be in that situation. So do whatever it takes to register at the time that you are supposed to. Expect a lot of reading. The class time is only an hour and 15 minutes, so the professor can only cover so much the main points, and sometimes fight drills happen that takes away class time too. You can expect a lot of reading and study the material on your own. For our upcoming semester, this is especially important when we're doing online classes. A topic might not be covered in class, but if it is on your study guide, you should expect it to be on the test. Dead week versus dead day. Unlike mission where you have a whole week before finals to study, we only have one day. After the last day of instruction called dead day, the weeks of finals start the day after that dead day. Usually the last day of instruction is a Monday, that day falls on Tuesday, and Wednesday is the first day of finals. One thing to note is that your finals is often on a different day and at a different time than your usual class time, so be aware of that. Also be aware of the service learning component of a class. As I mentioned before, there are upper division G classes called SJSU studies. There are 4 areas R at VZ. Each area covers a discipline of science. The service learning component usually comes with a class in area R. Service learning means that besides the time attending class, you are required to complete a certain amount of volunteer hours on or off campus, usually 12 hours. If you take a class with that component, make sure that you have a flexible schedule that semester to complete the hours outside of class. Tutoring hubs are at different places around campus. And again, unlike mission where we only have one academic support center, at SJSU you can find tutors at multiple locations, such as Clark Hall, Peer Connections, and every Student Success Center. Besides that, late night tutoring can also be found in the MLK library. I just want to stress that make sure to put your registration date and time in your calendar, on your phone, whatever works best for you to get the schedule that you want. Next topic is on how we get into our career at SJSU. All questions and concerns regarding your career, the Career Center is there to help. I will cover the center in detail later. We have job fairs all year round, and sometimes the fairs are tailored to certain group of majors. We have fairs for STEM majors, public health, and social work, to name a few. For my major, accounting and finance, we have a big event near the beginning of each semester called Meet the Firms. I remember I was overwhelmed with the emails telling me to attend this event in my first month at SJSU because I was like, it's only my first semester and I'm not expecting to worry about getting a position this early. However, I learned that it's never too early to start thinking about your career, and you will notice this too once you're here. I would recommend creating and updating your Handshake profile as soon as you can. Handshake is a professional platform like LinkedIn, but specifically for students. You can access it via your Spartan app portal. On this platform, you can search and apply for thousands of jobs listed there and see how your profile match with the employer's preferences. SJSU had a lot of professional clubs and organizations you can join and attend networking events. Some of them are national and international organizations. I am actually into honor societies, and they have great benefits such as study abroad scholarship, international internship, and discounts on different services, and so many other products. I also have a friend who got a scholarship for his study abroad program, and he just went to Europe last semester. The Career Center is also doing a digital bachelor program. This program is built on the feedbacks of the employers in regard of what skill they are looking for when hiring. The way it works, if you can be added to a Canvas course gearing toward a soft skill, there are 5 modules where you can work on at your own pace. After completing the course, you'll be issued a digital badge in recognition of your skill, and this badge you can add to your resume and professional profile. To name some of the skills, we have oral communication, creative problem solving, collaboration, and critical thinking. You can ask a career coach to be added to the course, and if your professor is collaborating with the Career Center, you'll be able to get the badge as well as the credit for your class because they make the badge part of your grade. That was how I got my creative problem solving badge last semester. Last but not least, we have a mentoring program between an SJSU alumna and a current student, hence the name SJSU Square. You'll be matched with a mentor within the profession and interest that you choose. These mentors are those that actually sign up with the Career Center to be a mentor because they want to give back, so you don't have to worry that you're borrowing them. To access this program, please visit your Spartan app portal. Okay, next regarding our activities on campus, we have a lot of clubs, and by a lot, I mean hundreds of them. This just shows how diverse and large the student body at SJSU is, so I think you'll be able to find your niche here. In the first couple weeks of the semester, we will have a lot of activities and tabling going on the 7th Street Plaza for clubs and organizations to advertise themselves and recruit new members. These are called Weeks of Welcomes, and of course, there are often free food, snacks, and freebies if you stop by a table. Besides that, depending on the month, we usually have cultural and community events. To name a few, we have Fire by the Fountain, Day of the Dead, or the Student Success Centers such as Black African American or Chicanx Latinx would organize an event to celebrate their culture, and everyone is invited. We also have a lot of speaker events throughout the year. The topics vary from business entrepreneurship, women in leadership, to social justice. Many times we have well-known speakers such as Nobel Prize laureate Malala Yousafzai and Apple CEO Tim Cook. Last but not least, we have the Hammer Theater, where you can watch Broadway shows at a discounted price for students. Sometimes we also have plays from touring troops as well as from student group. Now that you are a Spartan, these are the resources available to enable you to succeed. Please know that this list is not complete. To name a few, we have many student success centers. Depending on your major, each department had their own student success center. African American and Hispanic students also have their own center. These are places you can go for advising, tutoring, mentoring, and study space. Accessible Education Center, or AEC, is similar to the SPS admission. You can get accommodation if you have difficulty in a class. Counseling and Psychological Services, or we usually call it CAPS, is available to both student and faculty if you struggle with an issue and it is affecting your mental wellness. You can get up to 6 brief therapy sessions per semester with a certified personal counselor. So please ask for help before it negatively affects your life. As for student support services, we have EOP, which is equivalent to EOPS admission, and Aspire. This is TRIO program at SJSU. Besides that, TRIO also had Magna Scholars program to prepare and support you in the journey to and in grad school. We also have an equivalent of MESA at SJSU called MEP, which stands for MESA Engineering Program. For veterans, SJSU had Veterans Resource Center, or VRC. This is equivalent to our Valor Veterans Center at Mission. We have the MLK Library. Because it's also a public library, it can get crowded. However, with your student ID, you can stay after the library is closed to the public. Writing Center can be found in the lobby of Clark Hall. However, that is not the only place. As I mentioned before, tutoring hubs are all around campus. You can find writing assistant in Communication Center, the library, and P Connections. For those that I haven't mentioned here, I will go in depth about them in the next couple slides. I picked these to go into details because I believe these are great services that everyone should be aware of. First of all, we have Financial Aid and Scholarship Office located in the Student Services Center, which is under the North Parking Garage on 9th Street. Everyone knows that this office is a place to go for your financial aid questions. However, this is also a one-stop shop for all scholarships. For campus-based scholarship, after filling out a general application, the opportunities matching your info will show, and you can apply for those by answering some additional questions depending on specific scholarship. There are also private scholarships listed should you need to expand your search. Next, we have a mini grocery store called Spartan Food Pantry. The entry to the pantry is outside of the Student Union facing the engineering building. Beside the food provided by Second Harvest Food Bank, there are also hygiene and feminine products. Students can come in to shop once per calendar week. I have been inside this pantry once. It is the size of a typical 7-Eleven, divided into 6 zones depending on the usage of the products. Meaning there is one zone for things that you can only use once, such as canned food, and there is one zone for multiple use things such as spices or rice and spaghetti. Depending on the zone, there is a limit on how many products you can take. I don't remember the specific amount of each zone, but I know for sure that there is no limit on the fresh produce zone. This is a way to encourage you to eat healthy and also to get the perishable food out quick. SJSU Cares is one of the resources that I found surprising learning about it. It just shows the great length this school goes to get you to stay in school and succeed. The food pantry is part of SJSU Cares. However, this program provides more than just food. It provides support in housing crisis and even emergencies such as natural disaster and burglaries. The great thing about this is you can request assistance for yourself or another student. All you need to do is fill out the form online, which can be found on their website, and they will be in touch with you as soon as they can, usually the next day. Like I said before, once you transferred in, be prepared to embark on your internship searching and career building. The Career Center is where you can go with all your questions regarding the preparation. We have career coaches to help you define your career path. They can help you build your LinkedIn profile and resume, conduct a mock interview, and give feedback on your answer. They also have the Spartan closet for you to come and pick out a professional outfit for your upcoming interview should you need it. Being an SJSU student means you can have free access to multiple career building apps. We have an interview practicing app, an instant feedback on resume app. I tried this one. You basically upload your resume to the app. It will analyze the layout and content and give you feedback on how to fix it. The suggestions are really details from your word choice to the number of bullet points you should use. So going straight into a career after your bachelor isn't the way for some of us. So the Career Center also helps with grad school application if this is where you want to go. Next, we have the Student Health Center. As you can see, all the services here, they are much more comprehensive than what we have at Mission. This is where you can go to get basic healthcare with a small fee because you are an SJSU student. On top of that, they also organize workshops on different topics such as stress, nutrition, and sexual health. I know for nutrition, sometimes they have a cooking class where you get to learn how to prepare healthy meals and you get to eat what you make. I already covered CAPS before. You will hear or see about it a lot in the emails from the president office. Last but not least, the place where I work, Peer Connections. This is equivalent to Mission Academic Support Center. However, we are more than just an academic supporting team. As I briefly mentioned in the beginning, Peer Connections is a center that offers free services to all SJSU students, such as tutoring, mentoring, and supplementary instruction. As you know, tutors are those that ask questions, clarify concepts from your class materials, and suggest study strategies because they have succeeded in the course before. You can have up to an hour with a tutor for each meeting. Supplementary instruction section are led by supplementary instruction leaders or SI leaders for challenging courses. These sections are held outside the regular scheduled class time and are optional. In each section, SI leader facilitate activities that incorporate both content and learning strategies. Besides academic support, we have a mentor team that can help you with college survival skills such as budgeting, time management, and many more. We are here to listen to your problems and assist you in resolving it using what we know about campus resources. Particularly in my role as a transfer mentor, the goal is to make your transition to SJSU a little easier. Here are some tips that I have gathered during my time at SJSU. Sign up for classes at your registration start time and date if possible. I know I've said it a million times, but let's be honest. Nobody wants to take classes that they don't need, so please be prepared when your time comes. This is especially important if you are a business major. There is a difference in the language that we use here at SJSU and at Mission. At Mission, your counselor is one to answer your questions about courses selection and aid plan. Here at SJSU, those questions are for your advisor. You mostly only hear about counseling or counselor when we talk about CAPS. These next 2 points might not sound useful for this upcoming semester, but for future reference, if you sign up for back-to-back classes, make sure their locations are walkable within 15 minutes because you wouldn't want to leave a class early or get to the next one out of breath because of running. As you know, the campus of SJSU is much bigger than Missions. You should attend as many networking events and job fair as you can, even though at first you don't know what to expect and you come home almost crying because you feel so out of place, or at least that's how I felt after my first job fair. But it is a good way for you to learn about what you can do with your major, about the hiring process, and especially make people remember you. As to connect with people on LinkedIn, I know one of my friends got an offer on the spot by attending one of the job fairs, and I still got recruitment messages from employers on my LinkedIn. So at least go check them out when you can, and trust me that it gets easier after your first time. That is it. Thank you for watching this. If you have any question, again, my name is Amy Pham and my email is listed here. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe.